I love almost everything about the great sport of mountain biking. I mean, you have to agree, it's pretty awesome. But it's not all rainbow sparkles and unicorn sandwiches. There are a few things about mountain biking that get on my nerves, and I think they might get on yours too. So today, I want to share with you 3 of my mountain biking pet hates. Let's dive straight in. Kicking things off, this first one is a weird one, and it's probably not something you've ever thought about. But my first pet hate is naming trails after roads. That's right, I told you it was a weird one. Now, I'm not having a go at anyone in particular with this one, and I'm certainly not trying to anger anyone, but naming trails after roads and numbers is just not cool anymore, just because there seem to be so many of them. The reason this has made it into my pet hates list is that when riders are discussing trails like these, no one has any idea which trail you're talking about. The conversation turns into one with random letters and numbers getting flung around all over the place. I've had countless conversations with people when they're referring to trails like the A470 at Bike Park Wales and calling it the A45 or even 417, or just a random road name somewhere near their house. The more trails there are that are named after numbers and roads, the less we riders remember what they're actually called. When there are so many interesting and clever trail names out there, why just name a trail after the nearest road? In my books, you're much more likely to remember an interesting trail name like Igneous or Blue Nun than you are the M62 downhill or A50 jump trail. But hey, that's just me. The second thing on my list is something that I think most people will agree with. It's wet, muddy, stinking mountain bike uplifts. That's right, anyone who's been on a winter uplift has definitely sat on a cold, wet, muddy minibus for 20 minutes as you bump your way up a terribly surfaced road. All the while, your nose is free to take in the scent of 400 other muddy butts that have sat in those seats already today. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good uplift. They allow us to spend all day riding amazing trails without having to pedal up a single hill. But the winter uplift is a special kind of torture. They're pretty much offensive to 4 out of 5 of the human senses. As you've probably come to realise, there's no real point to some of these pet hates. They're all quite irrational. Sometimes they're just part of mountain biking. I'm not proposing any solutions to manky minibuses, nor am I suggesting that we all stop going on winter uplifts. But sometimes it's just good to notice that these things suck. Just a little bit. So this last pet hate is a bit of an obvious one, and something we've talked about before on the channel. It's dropping litter. It's pretty sad that we even have to mention it in this day and age. You would have thought that mountain bikers would be people who would enjoy the outdoors and want to keep it nice, but we've all been on a ride and seen some discarded litter on the trails. Now, it's certainly not everyone that's guilty of this. There's a select group of people who think it's okay to bring food and drinks to trails and just throw it on the ground for someone else to deal with. If we want to continue to ride our trails and enjoy outdoor spaces, we need to keep them litter free, or else they're going to stop letting us ride them. Either way, dropping litter makes it onto the end of my list. So those are my 3 biggest mountain bike pet hates. I would love to know what your biggest pet hates are, so why don't you drop them down in the comments. Thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, it's free after all, and I'll see you next time.